Hey guys, welcome back to a very special weekend edition of the Chuckload of Comics show, now simulcasting on mainframecomiccon.com. Chuckload of Comics is the newest in the long line of original content on mainframecomiccon.com. You can also find us right here at YouTube at youtube.com/chuckloadofcomics. We have been away for a few weeks. We took a little bit of a break. You know, we were putting together Mainframe. We just needed a breather, so we took a couple weeks off. Sometimes, we've been doing the show every single Sunday for the past 3 years, so we took a couple of weeks off just to kind of recoup, but we are back in full swing on mainframecomiccon.com and on YouTube. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome to Chuckload of Comics. Click that subscribe button. Join us here every single Sunday for a breakdown of all the nerdy news. If you missed anything over the past 7 days, we're going to break it down for you every single Sunday on YouTube and on Mainframe. Big week in the world of fandom, guys. Beavis and Butthead, the widely beloved, weird, goofy duo of Beaver and Bunghole, are going to get a reboot, not on MTV, but on the Comedy Central networks. We're going to give you a breakdown of everything we know about the new Beavis and Butthead, and whether we think it's a good idea or a bad idea. Margot Robbie hopes to save the sinking ship that is the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. We got all the details on this. Jerry Bruckheimer produced Pirates spinoff in just a second. Anthony Mackie dishes the dirt on the new Falcon and Winter Soldier television series on Disney Plus, and he's kind of letting us know where they're at in the production and how the production's going. He had some very interesting stuff to say to the folks over at Variety this week. And finally, Cuphead, the series, is coming to Netflix.
Yeah!
Cuphead and Mugman are coming to a small television screen near you. We're going to give you all the details on that upcoming Netflix series and kind of dish the dirt on what Cuphead even is if you're unfamiliar with what it is, but get excited. So we got tons of nerd news to break down this week, guys, so stick around. Here it is. This is this week's Nerd News. Check it out. All right, guys, first big nerd news story of the week. This one is near and dear to my heart personally. If you're a child of the 1990s, you got to get excited to hear this week that Beavis and Butthead is coming back.
Yes!
In full swing, guys. We found this out on Wednesday. Comedy Central announced. Comedy Central.
Right?
Not MTV announced that Beavis and Butthead will be returning to the small screen with, of course, show creator Mr. Mike Judge.
Awesome.
Coming back to write, direct, produce, and do the voices of the beloved characters Beaver and Bunghole. Somebody from Comedy Central, a spokesman, said, "We are thrilled to be working with Mike Judge and the great team at 3 Arts Entertainment again as we double down on the adult animation at Comedy Central. Beavis and Butthead were a defining voice of a generation, and we can't wait to watch them as they navigate the treacherous waters of a world light years from their own."
What does that mean?
That statement went a little bit off the rails there. I'm wondering if the spokesman at Comedy Central is even old enough to remember Beavis and Butthead.
Probably not.
Probably
They're definitely younger than we are.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited. I do have a lot of questions because, you remember this is not the first time they've attempted a reboot
Very true.
of Beavis and Butthead. If you remember, back in 2011, I think they decided, hey, we're going to redo Beavis and Butthead. It was on MTV.
Everyone got so excited.
Everybody was so excited, and everybody tuned in, and you watched it, and it was great. But then it was missing a very important ingredient.
Extremely important.
What ingredient are we talking about there, Shauna?
The music videos. There were no music videos. That was all of us that loved Beavis and Butthead, that was the pivotal part of the series that made it what it was watching the music videos, making fun of them, overdubbing with their voice, and just talking over the video the whole time. And it was so funny. That
was the highlight of the entire show, and it was missing in the 2011 reboot. I'm wondering if Comedy Central is going to have the licenses to run music videos. Are they maybe not going to watch music videos? Maybe they're going to watch something else. Maybe they're going to be
that's a good idea.
Flipping through the channels, watching spoofing Comedy Central stuff.
Oh, I'm okay with that. That's like self-promoting at the same time.
Yeah.
Like the network.
They could be watching, Dave Chappelle, or they could be watching old South Parks, old Workaholics episodes, or something like that.
Okay, I am not opposed to that at all. But they have to have something that they're making fun of and watching through. But
yeah, because if it's just one story every single week of, this is them at, the burger restaurant. This is them just hanging out at Burger World. Good call. It needs that little breakup. So hopefully they have that. But I'm excited.
I am too, and
It's
I would
time.
think that they know that, I think, because now that it's moving from different platforms, it's moving to Comedy Central from MTV. I think Comedy Central hopefully realizes that was the failure of the first reboot.
I hope so.
So,
and it's been 9 years, so I mean, I think they're ready. I think we're ready for a new Beavis and Butthead with, of course, Mike Judge.
Absolutely.
At the helm. So I'm excited, guys. Let us know in the comment section. How excited are you for Beavis and Butthead? Did the first reboot kind of just sour the whole idea of a Beavis and Butthead reboot for you? Let us know in the comment section. We would love to know. So next big nerd news story of the week, as we said before, Margot Robbie trying to re-rise the sinking ship that is the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. That was announced this week. Margot Robbie is going to be joining Karen Gillan in a new Pirates film franchise. You remember, I think it was a couple months ago, Karen Gillan was announced for the Pirates of the Caribbean reboot. This is not going to be the Karen Gillan movie. It's not going to be, because Karen Gillan's doing Pirates. Like, she's doing Pirates of the Caribbean. This Margot Robbie thing is going to be a spin-off film.
Interesting.
Still produced by Jerry Bruckheimer, but it's not going to be the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. It's like they're building a Pirates female-led film franchise.
Okay.
Which you can't do much better than Karen and Robbie.
That's true.
But I don't think we need a new Pirates movie.
It's not necessary.
At this moment.
No, I mean, like you're saying, it's a sinking ship. Like the last few movies have been terrible, and like
they've been all bad except for the first one was great. It gained Johnny Depp an Oscar nomination for his role as Jack Sparrow. If you remember, a lot of people forget that Johnny Depp got nominated for an Oscar.
That's true. I forgot.
For Jack Sparrow. He didn't win. He lost to Sean Penn, I believe, in Mystic Water.
Mystic River. Mystic Waters. Ooh, that sounds like a good movie, too.
So the idea that they're having over at Disney is to create sort of this female-fronted adventure universe in the Pirates franchise. It's going to be loosely attached to the previous film. So it sounds like they're not completely rebooting the franchise. This is just going to take place sort of off to the side. So the previous films will have a loose attachment to this one. Jack Sparrow, who knows? He may pop in from... There might be discussions of Jack Sparrow, maybe.
Sure.
They'll make mention of Jack Sparrow, but I don't think he will be in the movie.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it. Christina Hodson is going to be the writer of, at least the initial writer of the screenplay for the film. Christina Hodson, you know, she wrote Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. And if that sours you a little bit, she also wrote Bumblebee.
Okay. That saves it for me a little bit there.
Harley Quinn, not the best movie. Bumblebee, damn good movie.
Yes, I agree.
So she's going to be joining Margot Robbie. I believe Margot Robbie may be
producing
a co-producer.
I'm
sure she's getting her producer chops all over the place. She's phenomenal. But Jerry Bruckheimer is still on board to, I believe, executive produce.
Okay.
So I'm cool. It's going to have a Jerry Bruckheimer Pirates feel. It'll just... I'm actually really stoked about it.
I'll see it.
Margot Robbie's phenomenal.
Yeah, and so is Karen Gillan. Like, I love them both. They're great. And I'm all about girl power and let's see strong female leads. But at the same time, I feel like Disney has so many properties right now. Why are they going back to this one? Like, I don't know.
If I were to wager a guess, I would say because they don't have any Star Wars on the slate anytime soon.
Okay.
They've been talking about, pre-production of various Star Wars projects, but they need something to put in theaters over Christmas time. I think we're years away from seeing any of these Pirates movies.
That's true. That's a good point.
Nothing is in production at the moment. Everything's in pre-production. Everything's in the script writing phase. So it'll probably be 2023 before we see any of these Pirates movies. But I'm excited.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta love Margot Robbie.
That's true. I'll go see any movie
I
she's
trust
in.
Bruckheimer and Robbie, guys. But let us know in the comment section. What do you think about Margot Robbie joining the Pirates franchise? What do you think about the Karen Gillan? What do you think about the female-led reboot of the entire Pirates franchise? We'd love to hear your comments, completely hate-free, in the comments section, guys. Next big story of the week. Anthony Mackie, Mr. Falcon himself.
That's right.
He dished the dirt on the new Falcon and Winter Soldier series coming to Disney+. He said it is like a 6-hour Marvel movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
He was in an interview with the variety show Actors on Actors. I don't mean variety show like Sonny and Cher. It's like Variety Magazine. Have you seen Actors on Actors, Shauna?
I haven't, but this sounds really cool. Like, how many of these are out there now?
There's a bunch out there. It's kind of cool. They did one, I think I told you about before, where it was...
Paul Rudd, you said?
Yeah, it was Paul Rudd and Chris Evans.
That's awesome.
Actors interviewing actors about projects that they're working on. It's really, really cool.
Did this just come out of the COVID quarantine era? Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
Everybody's staying at home, so it's basically just Zoom chats. If you have a chance to go on YouTube, check out Actors on Actors.
Sweet.
Anthony Mackie was on there this week, and he says this about Falcon Winter Soldier. He says the upcoming Disney Plus series, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, will feel similar to movies from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but there's one major difference in the making of this show, and that is, of course, the budget.
Of course. Duh.
It's not going to have that in-game budget. They said the miniseries is supposed to cost approximately $150 million.
Oh, that's still an expensive show,
which is a massive budget for any television show.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's still... less than half of the $350 million that something like Endgame got. So you're not going to get that in-game budget because obviously Robert Downey Jr. isn't in it, so he's not going to get his $100 million.
That's
Still, $150. I mean, that's a ton of money for a TV series, and it is still got Kevin Feige at the helm producing. So what he said the Falcon Winter Soldier. He said it will also look very much like a Marvel movie. He was talking about the production. He said, we're shooting it exactly like a movie. Everybody who has worked on television shows before, they said that they've never worked on a TV show that is shot quite like this. They said
awesome.
The way in which they are shooting, it feels exactly like they're shooting a movie, only they're going to chop it up into 6 episodes, maybe just 6 hour long. I mean, I don't know exactly how many episodes this thing's going to be, but they're shooting it like a film. And the people who are working on it, who are used to working in television, they're like, this is not a television production.
That's so cool.
You guys are shooting this like a film.
That makes me excited.
Which is really, really cool because, you got Kevin Feige on set making sure everything goes smoothly.
Right.
It's going to tie directly into the movies at some point, in the future. It takes place after the events of Endgame. You remember you saw that footage of Sam hurling Cap's. He was like practicing throwing the shield into the side of a tree in his backyard.
That makes sense because I was wondering what time period it took place in, considering he's not Captain America yet. But I guess he just doesn't. He's not quite ready to dive right into those big shoes.
I would imagine, since it is being labeled a miniseries, it's probably just going to be one season, and it's going to end with him maybe taking up the mantle.
Cool.
Of Captain America. Baron Zemo is supposed to be the villain of the show.
Yes, awesome.
And there's already been a lot of fan art out there of him wearing like a purple ski mask.
Sweet.
To kind of give the look of the way he looks in the comics.
Yeah.
Like he wears that like purple kind of cloth over his head. So I'm pretty excited.
That's
sounds like they're shooting it like a film, according to Anthony Mackie. If you have a second, check out Actors on Actors. On Variety's YouTube channel, and just look for Anthony Mackie. He talks for quite a while.
So cool.
About all kinds of stuff. We barely scratched the surface of it. So, guys, let us know in the comment section. There's not that much news coming out of the world of the MCU. So any little bit like this we can get.
No kidding.
We're pretty excited about it. So we're dishing the dirt where we can find it. So last big nerd news story of the week. This one's a lot of fun. This one comes straight from Mainframe Comic-Con News. If you go to mainframecomiccon.com, you can click on the News tab, and you'll read all about this one. It's Cuphead. The series Cuphead and Mugman, the widely beloved video game that came out, I believe, in 2017?
I think that's about right.
Netflix is making an animated Cuphead television series.
Yes.
This just announced this week, and everybody went just batshit crazy for it. Next, they said Netflix is planning to release the show starring Cuphead and Mugman from the smash hit game. The game's just called Cuphead. They said there isn't much. We don't know that much about the series just yet.
Right.
But I mean, honestly, the promise and the possibilities of this show are insane. They can do so much. So what is Cuphead? What are we talking about? If you don't know about it, Cuphead is it's a side-scrolling animated video game that pits our heroes, Cuphead and Mugman, against Satan himself. If you ever made it to the end of the game, you are actually like
fighting Satan.
Satan is the big bad at the end of the game, which is really, really badass. But the graphics,
I know.
What makes headlines about Cuphead is the graphics of the game, based heavily on that sort of 1920s
like Popeye,
animated. It's a very Popeye-ish, Betty Boop. Kind of the old 1920s animation. It's a fun game, not only to play, but just to watch other people play.
Yeah, you've said it before to where it's like, it's almost more fun to watch people play for me because it looks like I'm watching a cartoon, and then you get to catch all the little Easter eggs in the background and stuff. Whereas if you're actually playing it, you're trying to, actually play and beat the game. So, but I'm excited for this. It's going to be great.
I'm very excited. Like I said before, there's not much information we know about the new Netflix show.
Mm-hmm.
We know it will be following the misadventures of the impulsive Cuphead and his cautious but persuadable brother Mugman. Something interesting, though. If you ever watch somebody play the game has a lot of adult content in it. I don't know if you got that graphic or not, but there's a lot of cigars and alcohol, cigarettes and ashtrays, a lot of adult kind of imagery, which is perfect for something like that Betty Boop 1920s, because that's the way it looked back in the day.
Right.
But the show, according to Netflix, is going to fall under the genre of kids TV.
Interesting.
So it's going to be it's labeled as a kids show, so I wouldn't expect to see too many cigars and cigarettes and ashtrays floating around in the Cuphead series. I think it's going to be a little more akin to the old Looney Tunes than it is to...
Okay.
Of course, you saw Bugs Bunny smoking cigarettes every now and again. I mean, that.
And they all went into bars and stuff, and
they're getting drunk all the time. I remember Bugs Bunny got drunk several times. Always a lot of gunplay.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't expect to see too much of that.
Yosemite Sam, he was always in a bar.
Yeah, he was racist. But anyway, the crappy part, last little bit about this Cuphead thing is it's only been announced for one season, 11 episodes, but each episode is only 10 minutes long. 10 minutes. Every episode's only a 10-minute show, so it's going to be stupid bingeable. It's going to be 110 minutes long, the entire series.
Interesting.
So not even an hour, no, a little over an hour and a half.
Well, I guess that makes sense because it is kind of following the vein of Adult Swim. Like all their shows are about 8 to 10 minutes long. Robot Chicken.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force was about 15 minutes with commercials, though. This is not going to be commercials.
That's also true.
So it's just going to be straight 10 minutes, bam, 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 bam. You talked about Love, Death, and Robots. Mm-hmm. Some of those episodes were only a couple minutes long.
Yeah.
So kind of similar to that.
And then
everybody binges stuff on Netflix anyway.
Right.
They're just going to let it go and just hit play and let it go, binge it all in one shot.
And if you think about even Looney Tunes, like even those segments were only like 10 minutes long. They just showed you 3 different cartoons.
Exactly. Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner were not half-hour episodes. They were 10-minute shorts, and I'm sure that's exactly what this is going to be. I'm hoping it's one long story. Mm-hmm. I hope that the show plays out like the video game, where they start and they have a mission and they got to go all the way to the end.
You think?
I hope so. I think it'd be cooler to do it like that than I don't know. I like serial stuff more than episodic. I like things that just kind of run beginning to end, one long story. It may not be that since it is for kids.
I'm trying to think of a cartoon that does that, and I can't.
Castlevania. I mean, Netflix does a lot of it.
That's true.
Pretty much all Netflix's animated stuff has been pretty much serialized, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't think of anything else, really, though.
But that's not really aimed for
Simpsons,
kids. The new
Bob's
Transformers on Netflix is going to be the same way.
That's a good point.
But you're right. Like Comedy Central stuff is very episodic.
Even the Fox stuff, too.
Very true. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited about Cuphead. We do not know when it's coming out. I wouldn't expect it anytime in 2020, of course.
Yeah.
Maybe 2021. Mm-hmm. Netflix has a lot of other animated stuff they're putting out with Kevin Smith and like I said, the Transformers thing coming out. So Cuphead, probably maybe late in 2021 before we see the Cuphead series on Netflix. So don't cancel your Netflix subscription just yet, guys. So that's our entire show, guys. Let us know in the comments section. Did you learn anything on this week's episode? If you're watching us on mainframecomiccon.com, welcome to the site. Explore around. We got a lot of great mainframe news coming up in the coming days, in the coming weeks. So check out Mainframe, cruise around, find us on YouTube, click the subscribe button, and we'll join us here next week, every single Sunday, for the breakdown of all the nerdy news happening in the world of fandom every single Sunday right here on YouTube and on mainframecomiccon.com. Shauna?
Yes.
Say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye, and don't forget to plunk in your email on the Mainframe website and
join the newsletter.
That's right.
Join that newsletter, that annoying pop-up that you got. Don't ignore it. Anyway, guys, have a fantastic week. We'll see you here next week. Have fun, and goodbye.
Bye-bye.